Holy cow.
Let's do this. Another one. The crowd's enthusiastic tonight.
Election night.
Special episode on election night.
And what's special about it is we haven't done one in like 3 weeks. So
we've been wheeling.
Yeah, we did a little bit. Not 3 weeks. Anyway, this is our Chili Challenge recap episode.
Yeah. Chili Challenge 2024.
33rd year.
33rd year. So we've been to 5 straight now.
Yeah.
2019? Was there one in 2020?
No, that was
Did we wheel?
Unofficially.
Okay. Were we there?
I can't say. I can't confirm or deny.
So 5. Plus 2016. So that's 6 years for me.
Yeah, good job. Yeah. It's the best event nobody's ever heard of.
Apparently, it used to be heard of.
Yeah. So
there's you talk to those old timers and this event. Warren was out here. JP Magazine. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, great event. Good turnout this year.
Good turnout.
Yeah. I don't know what the final tally was, but I think on the first day they'd had 215 registered. So
we had a good group every day. Good size groups every day.
Yeah.
Appropriately sized groups every day.
Yeah. Second day was that group was kind of big for the difficulty of that trail. And the requirements, the vehicle requirements.
All right. Where do we want to start with all this?
I don't know. Well, let's talk about the trails. We led trails all 4 days. We started with Batman. We did Old School, Back to School on the second day.
Well, we didn't do Back to School, but we
Well,
were on it.
We did not do back to school, so there's a story there.
Yeah.
We did Green Canyon and Cabin on day 3, and we did Backstage Pass on the last day. And we did the Narrows afterwards.
It was a special Narrows run afterwards.
Yeah. So that was our trail list. So we'll just get right to it. We had this is the second time in a row we've led Old School, Back to School. And the last time we did it was really rough. The rigs just weren't. We had a lot of rigs that weren't built for it. And I think we...
What was it rated?
Rated 7.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. What should it be rated?
I think it should be rated 8. Because of that boulder field on Old School. So this group at Chili Challenge, we were on that boulder field it's really the first obstacle is that section, and we were on it until 1:30 in the afternoon. It was rough. But I think they're going to change the rating on it after this year. So, we had other trails too, we always throw out that disclaimer that, hey, body damage is always possible. And we had some carnage on day 3.
Yeah, I think, I think that's part of the requirements for the trail ratings is that there's going to be some body damage on depending on the trails that you're on and depending on the rating. But I think for us, right, I think, if we do this again next year, really I think we're really going to point it out, right? I think that's going to be the difference. Hey, if you're on this trail with us, if you're not built similar to the way we're built, you will get damage on this part of your Jeep and on this part of your Jeep. It's 90% chance that it's going to happen. And that's if everything goes right. If everything goes wrong, it's going to be even more significant, right? And even for us, we're going to get damage on it, right? Even the way we're built, and then we know the trails, something could go wrong. I could fall in the hole wrong, coming out of cabin and flop on the side, right? There's different things that can happen. But, I think that's one thing, if we do it again next year with those trails, if it's those trails or if we get on new trails, whatever it is, that we say, look, this area and this area on your Jeep, the way you're built, is going to be different than the way you started this trail.
Yeah, but I mean, even when we talk about the potential for trail damage in the meeting before we start or head out, everybody's like, "Yeah, well, I'm cool."
Well, I think but I don't think
then
we
it
said
happens, and then they're not cool.
Yeah, they're not cool about it afterwards, right? But if I say, look, at this part, I think it was interesting when we did old school, right? I warned everybody, hey, we're going to go up a loose climb, which wasn't loose, strangely. Really interesting that it wasn't loose. But then we're going to come back down. Don't be too far passenger because you do not want to drop off that rock.
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to go that way.
Right? Because it feels better because you can't see what's over there. And then that one guy went too far and dropped off the rock. Right? So, but everybody pretty much listened to that. And especially once they got through, they're like, oh, that's the rock you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, that's the rock. Right? But, I think if we touch their vehicle and say, this nice slider, there's a good chance that it won't be here at the end of the day. This mirror, good chance it's not going to be here at the end of the day. This tail light, it's going to get ripped out. Are you sure you're okay with this? And then it's on them. And I mean, you're right. They're going to say, yeah, I'm cool with it. But,
yeah. So, given all of that, do you want to lead trails next year?
I'm in no position to make this on a recorded device. I think we need to go run some trails and figure out a couple different things. And really, partner with the organizers of Chile Challenge and really find out what we're going to rate these trails, right? 2 years in a row with this trail. I think that the problem, and we've talked about this in past episodes, is everybody that was on the trail met the minimum requirements.
Right. But those ratings are sacrosanct. I'm not going to fight that fight.
Right. But, maybe they do need to go up and rate it harder, right? Because that changes a little bit of what's required, right? If it's an 8, you can't be on 35s on it. Right? You need 37. So that would hopefully take out some people. And again, I think the crappy thing is we talk about this, right? We want people to have a good time, and we don't want them to destroy the rigs. That's the whole point. But when you're going on this fairly extreme trail in your fairly stock vehicle, things are going to happen, right? We've ran these trails for 5 years? Mm-hmm. 4 or 5 years now. Right? So we're familiar with them, but we've constantly built our vehicles up for it. Right? Every year we do something new to the vehicles. Right? Make it bigger, better, stronger, whatever it is. And we're familiar with them. We know where the problems are. We know where our lines are. Right? We can't, and when we take people through, we try to have them listen to us, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes things happen. Everything's a little bit different. And at the end of the day, we want people to have a good time. We want them to keep their vehicles in one piece. And when they're following the rules, right, their vehicles met the requirements, then it falls out of our hands. So,
Yeah.
if I want to do this again next year, I don't know. I think, I think it's going to change a little bit for us. We've talked about it. Maybe we need to move up to the next level of trails that we lead, right? Which is going to take a pretty big commitment from us of spending some more time out there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what needs to happen.
Right? And if we don't and we run these same ones, which is okay too, I don't really see an issue with it, is, I think we do need a mid-gunner. I think that was a pretty big difference this year. The groups weren't as big, so it wasn't quite as impactful, but a mid-gunner definitely helps. And, having Richard help us was great. But a dedicated, someone that's been on the trails, right? That's in the middle, that helps slow it down too. I think that's a little bit of the problems, is that everybody's scared of getting lost, and I don't blame them. I understand their fear. But they try to keep up with you when you even tell them, hey, stay here, let me go pull up far enough so I can come back and spot. Well, they just keep following you for whatever reason. They think they can do it. They want to do it. They're scared they're going to get lost, right? Whatever it is. And that causes a little bit of a problem too. So, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll probably do this next year. In one form or another.
Yeah, hopefully they'll promote this event, somehow. I mean, it's, I think this event could be a big draw again, but it's not really being promoted. So if you know, and you go.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of helping with that. I think there are some detractors from that, right? But
what I see is, participants and people outside of the group that hosts it, they're promoting it.
Well, that's what I mean, right?
But I don't see
having Tetone Family Adventure come down is pretty cool, right? And getting to will with them and talk with them and social media with them. That was great, right?
Yeah, but they're there because they knew about the event. They'd been there before. It's not because.
No, I know, but they're doing their part of posting about it and helping it grow that way.
Yeah, participants are doing it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Rather than the organizers.
Well, I'm not an organizer, so I can't help with that side of it.
I mean,
I'm not a part of that team.
Just like the whole year, there's no social media.
There wasn't any this year that I'm aware of.
Right, that's what I mean. So,
right, I'm hashtagging Chili Challenge, and it didn't go anywhere.
Right. So, I like to see it continue. That's why we do it. That's why we go down there and lead trails, to support the event and access to the public lands in that area for what we do. And it's good. Some great trails. If you haven't gone to Chili Challenge, man, you should definitely put it on your calendar, because
it can be mild or as wild as you want it.
Yeah, and
everything in between.
If you want to rock crawl, that's the place. All right, well, that's all I have for Chili Challenge 2024.
All right. I think it's a good event. If you're in the Southwest, it's definitely something you should check out. West Texas, it's not a bad drive.
Arizona.
Anywhere in Arizona is great. And it's different wheeling. I think that's the big thing for people that haven't been down here, that's done, Sand Hollow, Moab, Farmington, right? If you haven't been down to this area, it's a new experience.
Yeah, it's different. It's different than Johnson Valley. It's different than Colorado, So.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is just to end it with. It was definitely a positive. We didn't have the breakage that we had last year. No tire cuts. I was pretty happy with it. Pretty successful us getting through things.
Yeah, we didn't break out the Carnage welder one time.
Right. Yeah. So
that's pretty good.
As far as that goes, I think it was pretty successful. We were done most days early enough to get back in time. We weren't out past dark. The last day we got an extra run in. Right. So, I was pretty successful on what we had to do with it and how we got to help with it. And, met some people. Met I can't remember his name. White TJ from El Paso that went with us on the Narrows. Bernardo, right? He was a great guy. Aiden drove the shit out of that YJ. He was real good. So that was a pleasure. That really was, and I think you told him right. But that was really our highlight of Chili Challenge, is when people are coming out, having a good time, pushing their limits, and learning their vehicles, right? Like, that was really good. That was what it was all about right there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my take on Chili Challenge. We'll be there next year.
Yeah. See you there.
All right. Woo!